It's Astrology Roast. I think it needs to sound like a shitty intro, like a funny shitty intro.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Astrology Roast. My name is Karen.
My name is Itai.
And we're back for another fun-filled episode of one of the podcasts that you listen to out there, Astrology Roast. So today we've got a lot to talk about because me and Itai have really stretched ourselves out of our comfort zone and we've been in a thing that some of you call nature.
The nature.
The nature, as it's affectionately known. So we decided to go to Wilson's prom camping with your Pisces friend who's been staying at the house for a couple of weeks, which has been an absolute delight.
Yeah, so as mentioned before, I'm a Virgo moon and I made this really, really detailed schedule for the entire trip. And a part of it was to go to nature because my friend loves the nature as a Piscean that is very connected to spirituality, animals, and every living being that ever walked this earth. Yeah. I personally grew up in nature, in a really small community, next to the beach, next to the dunes. I was what you might call a village boy or a nature kid or whatever you want to call it.
Like the village people or village boy.
But it's really important to say, I walked barefoot until I was 16, but it wasn't by choice. The second I was introduced to the city and the scene and the life, I never turned back. I'm today a very proud city boy.
And I think that's really smart. My Israeli grandmother, once I was trying to connect with her and was like, Safta, how do you make olives? Because she makes everything herself. And she's like, ugh, just buy them.
Exactly. My grandma also, she was like, just cut to the chase. Just if you have shortcuts, if society technology brings you advanced products, just do them. You think I want to dry tomatoes on the porch? You think I want to clean the chicken from feathers? No, just get a chicken breast. But I still obviously have that part behind me that in my past. But when I come to a new city, I literally choose apartments based on how far they are from a 24/7 supermarket. Because you never know when you want to get that flour and chocolate chips to make chocolate chip cookies in 2 a.m.
So true. So, wow, you've really challenged yourself then by going to Wilson's Promontory to camp for a couple of nights in the nature.
So we camped in a tent because all the cabins were booked out. But we did it, nothing is going to stop us. But yeah, it is fully nature. There's patches without reception. I didn't even bring a phone charger. I didn't bring one. I did buy one from the shop when we got there.
And just to be a bit clear, it wasn't as if we were on a rock in the middle of nowhere. We were next to basically the most decked out convenience store and cafe that's right there. They even have a post box there. They have police there. It's very decked out. Mind you, it did feel like a little community there. We were only there for 2 days, but a lot happened. Yeah. So there was a guy there that had a black eye and just a swag and his motorbike, and I'm pretty sure he was running away from the law because there was something going on there, but he was really lovely.
I'm really proud of us. We were hiking once a day for 2 days out of the 3 days that we were there.
Yeah.
We cooked for ourselves.
Did.
We brought cereal, we brought Cocoa Pops, and it was the full moon.
It was the full moon, and we also got attacked by a wombat a couple of times. So a wombat ate a hole in the tent, and then they came to attack the tent at 4 a.m, and I was the only one that saw the wombat, and I was pretty sure I was having a hallucination, but then I realized it was real.
So much happened. But I really feel like one of the best reasons to go camping is so you can come back and tell people, I was just camping for 3 days.
Oh my God, I love that. So, it's second most important to the Instagram photos that you get. But honestly, the amount of times this week I've been telling people, I was just at the prom for a couple of days. And in Victoria, that's what we call this camping spot, the prom, because it's a well-known little local spot. So I just have been fucking loving telling everyone that I was quote-unquote camping in the nature, even though it was quite different to that.
Well, we also been talking about how Pluto is coming forward and how it brings, secrets or things we blocked from our past, and now they're coming to full power and we're kind of reclaiming them. And during that time in the prom and the full moon, I was having all these like flashbacks of me as a fat kid going to like trips at school. And you know, like at school you go and you walk like in a line, and it's kind of spread out. So you have at the front, you have like the really nerdy kids that walk with the tour guide and ask them all the questions like, how does mountains form, and who lived here before us, and stuff like that. And then in the middle you have all the popular kids, and they're like, you know, listen to music, and they're like flirting with each other because they're fully developed. And then in the back you have me, basically, and that person, just like I was walking with the security guard in the back, and because I was kind of an awkward kid, I didn't talk to them or like became their friend. I was just like walking silently and wishing to break a limb so there will be a helicopter that will rescue me. I was like, I just want to fall and break my leg, but badly, so I can be rescued by a helicopter. And my biggest fear was to like just twist my ankle.
Oh my God.
And then they'll be like, no, it's fine, you can just walk on it. And I'll be like, and then we'll get to the bus at the end, and everyone will already be on the bus, not sweaty anymore, like been sitting there for 30 minutes, eating their snacks. I already didn't have snacks because I ate them in the morning on the way to the trip. And I'll just be like puffing, coming into the bus. The second my foot will be on the bus, it will start driving.
Oh,
like it was just like it was waiting for me to come up.
I just think you were born in the wrong country, in the wrong society, because I went to a Jewish school and all the kids were like that. Everyone was exhausted and horrified at the idea of like walking up a hill that had no purpose, that didn't benefit
Sign
their
me up.
education.
Sign me the fuck up.
Wow. Well, another lifetime. Wow. So it was a really, really spiritual and cathartic experience for you then, challenging yourself, stepping out of your comfort zone and being in the nature and not having any security guards to talk to whilst we walked gently.
Definitely. And if there's anything I like in life is stepping outside of my comfort zone. As I mentioned, I think before in the podcast, one of my favorite scenes from television is in the show Girls, when she shows the little poster and she says, this is your comfort zone, and outside it's where the magic happens.
So being out of our comfort zones, we were also in and out of reception, as you mentioned, and during this intrepid couple of days camping at the prom, as I love to talk about, two of our best friends decided to get engaged, and we kind of found out intermittently and were freaking out, and it was so full on that you had to buy a charger to...
I obviously ran to the store and bought a charger. Then I never spoke to them again, but I did at least have a charger. And it was also nice because having a Pisces friend that really like puts themselves out there for you, she was just like charging my phone for me in the toilet because you can't leave your phone alone because people can steal it. So I could sleep an extra hour in the morning and my Pisces friend would charge the phone for me. And I was
in like minus 10 degrees weather. She's just sitting there standing in the toilets.
She's just nice.
Yeah. She was very nice. Yeah, it was a really special experience. If people need tips on how to go hiking, like what to bring, what to pack, like just DM us and we'll ignore that.
We definitely know everything about camping now.
Seriously.
Well, other than camping, we are an astrology podcast and we are interested in spirituality and everything that is a bit mystical and everything that science people will say isn't real. And something that a lot of spiritual people relate to and deal with is spirit animals, which is basically what?
So spirit animals, some people call them totem animals. There's lots of different words for it, but basically it's a way of looking at animals as guides or things that can pop up in your life to send you a message or to represent something. So a good way to start thinking about spirit animals is to think about any animals that you encounter often or you feel a really strong affinity with. So I've got, I'm really connected to sparrows whenever I see them, or any, they appear at pivotal moments in my life when I might be needing some guidance or to feel humorous or to lighten up. And I'm also very appealed to wolves and huskies and animals like that. And it's about what it represents in your inner self, your shadow or your personality. but also just animals that are here to say hi and guide you along the way.
Yeah, and another way to find out your spirit animal is through your dreams. So, and also just to think, even like looking at animals and think, what's your relationship to them? And as I said, I grew up in more of a natural environment. So some of my very fundamental experiences in life was with an animal. For example, when we had to perform an anima to a pony horse, that was something I will never forget. You know, he had how do you call this when you eat something bad? Gastro.
Oh, God.
And we just had to shove the thing you turn the fire, the hose, a fire hose, into his ass, fill his tummy, and then take it out. And he just like washed his tummy. So that's a memory I'll never be able to erase from my mind.
Or from the listeners' minds now.
No. But, we saved his life.
Do you have any spirit animals, Itai, other than the horse that you gave an enema to?
Oh, Romeo, the pony horse. I always thought my spirit animal was a horse. Then I grew up and then I realized I thought it was elephant. At the moment, I don't know what my spirit animal is, but I do know that in the past few weeks, I've been dreaming about snakes. And I really thought that I'm going to encounter a snake. Then we went to the Wilson prom and I said, I'm sure I'm going to see a snake in the prom because it makes sense. We're in the woods, nature. But the trip has come and gone and I haven't seen a snake. A few days ago, I was walking in Melbourne next to the river and I saw a snake raising its head and coming to bite my leg.
Whoa.
And
that's full on.
I've been in Australia for 3 years now and I've never seen a snake. I know people are scared of deadly animals in Australia. I haven't seen any until a few days ago. And it was a really big wake-up call because I was like, I expected you and now you're here and like, what are you trying to tell me? And everyone's like, it's a snake, it's a phallic thing, it's about sex, it's about a penis. But I'm like, come at me,
And it did come at you. So you said it tried to attack you.
Yeah, but I really, I was really fast. I'm not the same kid anymore from those camping days. I just jumped to the side and survived. It was really cool. Like I expected it and then I saw it and it was scary, but then it went away. So
do you feel like you've released that animal from your consciousness or it's not over yet?
It's not over
It's round one.
I'm still trying to understand exactly what I was asked for by the snake. And you were also attacked by an animal recently.
Yes, I was attacked quite surprisingly. So I had an experience quite a while back, a couple of months ago, with a wasp in the laundry room of my home. And the other day I was doing laundry, as I often do, and I saw another wasp, a dead wasp on the floor, and I've thought about it now. I think it might be the same wasp, but which is highly likely because I didn't do anything with the other wasp. But I think when I looked on the internet, so often to explore myself spiritually, I will go to the internet, which is a long friend of mine. And the wasp kind of represents hard work and getting to it and getting busy and, stop thinking about stuff and start doing it. So I'm not sure exactly what a dead wasp can represent. I don't know if that's the end of work or if I need to clean the wasp up. It's still actually in the laundry on the floor, just gently lying there.
Wow.
But yeah, so for those out there who have had some weird, wacky encounters with animals, or if there's an animal that keeps popping up in your dreams or showing up mentally or actually whenever you're going through something very significant, go on the internet and have a look what it actually symbolizes and see if that relates, because it's a really interesting space to explore.
Definitely. And some people like to find their totem animal and tattoo it, and they get strength from it. So if you want to tattoo an elephant or a snake or a dead wasp on your body, then you should definitely go ahead and do that and find the energy and the connection that you get from it. I would also like to mention that some of our star signs have animals as a part of it or as related to it. So the Aries is the ram, and it represents, the being stubborn and the head and the horns being a bit aggressive. We have the Capricorn, which is the dedicated goat climbing up the mountain, not looking down, looking up. We have the Sagittarius, which is half a horse,